that don't want what we know out there.
How a person can go from really almost nothing to becoming a millionaire by owning rental properties.
He would always buy these flip houses, and I just remember thinking, this guy is crazy. Why would he buy that house?
In the past decade, there's been a huge surge in the peer-to-peer short-term rental market.
Become an insider. So you have to know the rules before you get in the game.
Every second counts. So make every second count.
Welcome to the Real Estate Jam. Whether you're just beginning or the best of the best, we're glad you're here. We will share successes, failures, and strategies for the action-taking real estate investor. And now to your hosts, JD and Melissa.
Hi guys, welcome to the Real Estate Jam podcast. I'm JD with my wonderful and talented co-host.
I didn't know we were ready.
Melissa.
Sorry.
We are definitely ready.
Sorry.
Well,
Zoned out.
it's time to go. This one will probably be a pretty quick one. But I just got back from the ICE Mastermind. Melissa was doing some rock star real estate agent things, so she had to stay home and handle some clients. She put 2 properties under contract while I was gone, so it was worth it. It was a tough decision. I never like to go to those things by myself, but we did have a pretty good time over there with all the Inner Circle Elite Mastermind members.
Doing guy stuff.
No, not doing guy stuff.
Yeah.
It was in Austin, Texas this time. It was a really great event. If you guys are looking for a high-level mastermind and want to hear about our experience, reach out and I can tell you the good, the bad, the ugly about it.
Mostly good, great.
Yeah, really good. So, Melissa, how was your few days without me?
Oh, it was so sad. It was lonely, but it went by so fast because I'm so busy and it's just like crazy. Like right after Christmas, like on my birthday, happy birthday to me, everything started picking up a lot again. So I'm super happy. And we had a listing appointment today and we got that too. So that's really 3 we've gotten in the last few days. So I'm super pumped about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So of course, if you'd like to join a great team and you want to be an agent, talk to me and JD too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just throwing that out there.
There's a lot of different agencies to choose from. We're biased towards EXP, but there's a lot of questions that newer agents might have. And if you are not sure which direction to go, we can talk about a lot of it. So make sure you reach out to us. Okay. So
Sorry.
Now, one of the things that we get asked kind of a lot is like, well, how much does it cost to get a lead and how much does it cost to get a deal and some of those things. And we have our own numbers for a lot of that stuff. But at the mastermind this week, one of the members was sharing some of his stats, and I thought, and the way he had it written out, I thought was great. So I wanted to kind of bring that to you guys so that you knew. And this just goes to why it's so important to track your KPIs, track the number of things that you send out, the number of things you get back, the good ones, the bad ones, and then the revenue that you get from your closed deal. And what that allows you to do is forecast where you're going to be based off of how much money you're going to spend. And so I'm just going to go through the list. I have it here on my phone. So the lead sources that I'll be talking about are PPC, direct mail, cold calling, Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and then AI cold calling, which is something I think is fairly new. So they don't have any data on it, but it is a channel that they're using.
Can you say what PPC is in case it's somebody new to the investment journey?
Yeah, PPC is the pay-per-click leads. It's an internet lead. Usually they're talking about Google pay-per-click. So as a company, you can put your ad on Google so that when somebody searches sell my house, Austin, if you had the PPC keywords selected for sell my house, Austin, then you have a chance of coming up in the ad space on that Google page, like the first 3 links, or sometimes more on the front page of Google. is a direct link to your site or to your form or whatever. And the whole idea is you pay money to Google, you compete for keywords, and every once in a while they put your ad up in front of people searching for that stuff. They click on it, fill out the form on your website, the lead comes in. It is an internet lead, so and a lot of people think that they are higher quality leads because it's really, you're setting a passive system where if somebody does this of their own accord, they will get directed to your website. And so it's one of the very few lead generating or lead generation sources that is 100% user initiated. That person has to be purposely going to Google and searching the keywords that you have identified in order for that to become a lead. And so with that, they're usually more motivated. And if they're not more motivated, they are in fact ready to sell. There's not very many tire kickers that are searching that kind of stuff and going through the process. But with that being said, based off of your area, the smaller your area, the less people, the more expensive the lead costs are. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. But the average cost per deal is somewhere between 900 and 66 $6,600 for a PPC lead.
Wow.
So or no, for a PPC deal, but the lead cost is somewhere between $75 and $550. And the statistics for that is it's going to take you somewhere around 12 leads to get a closed deal. That's where those other numbers come from.
That's interesting.
And the other thing about those PPC leads is when you're looking at the time to close on PPC leads tends to be faster because they're motivated. By the time they've decided to search and click and go through that, they're ready to sell. So the average from first contact to close, the lead time is about 1 month. And that's super quick.
That is really fast.
You know, and we'll get into their cold calling stats here in a minute. But in our business, we don't do very much PPC. We do some of the other internet stuff, but with cold calling, it's a way longer lead time. That's us initiating the contact, and that's the reason for it. So the next lead source is direct mail. Those costs per lead anywhere from 40 to 150. That seems a little bit low to me for leads. So I think they're not talking about qualified leads. I think they're talking about callbacks, whether that's somebody who wants to sell their house or somebody who wants to tell you to fuck off or somebody who's just checking things out. The number of leads to close a deal is around 25. So after you get 25 direct mail leads, you should be able to close a deal. And the the cost per deal on this is about $1,000 to $3,750 per closed deal. Our numbers are a little bit higher than that. I think we're looking at closer to between $4,500 and $6,000 to close.
That's so scary.
A deal on that, which if you look at roughly 50 cents per mail piece, that's how you get to that number of mail pieces. But the lead time on direct mail, this is also a really good one because that is, you sent something out there, it's a passive ad, you are actively sending it, but you're not doing anything to attack these people with your follow-up marketing. Those people are deciding to call you. So when you do get a lead, they tend to be more motivated than somebody who wasn't even thinking of you. And that's 1 to 3 months to close those deals. Direct mail is a staple. It's been around forever. A lot of really big and successful real estate investors are using direct mail on a constant basis. It brings the consistency to their business. They can do it almost automatically every month, and they're sending the mail out and they know they're getting leads back in. So next on his list is cold calling, and that costs about $40 to $80 per lead. That's pretty similar to what our leads cost. The difference, though, where it really hits you is it takes about 50 leads, 50 people who say, hey, I want to sell my house, for a deal to come through. And the cost per deal on that somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000. We are a little bit higher than that, probably on the high end of that, around $4,000 per lead or per deal. In our personal business, we should be, when we have 2 callers going full time, we should get at least 1 deal a month off of that. But the thing with cold calling, and why so many people don't think that it's a valid lead source, is because the lead time from first contact to close is somewhere between 4 and 6 months, and we have some that are 4 years.
Yeah.
So people
Closed deals that we've had quite a few that are over 3 years old.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. But that goes to follow up.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I was just gonna say. That
Don't
has
steal my stuff.
I'm sorry. that has to do with the follow-up process, and all of these lead sources need a robust follow-up system, or you're just wasting your money. So yeah, that 4 to 6 months. So what happens with cold calling is people want to try it out for 3 months, and they get some leads in. A lot of them are not good quality because that's just the way it is. And then they stop the cold calling before any of those leads materialize, and they don't get the return on investment. Next is Facebook ads. And the Facebook ads are running somewhere between $40 and $80. For us, we have 2 sets of ads running right now. It takes somewhere between $40 and $70 for our ads.
And we just started that. We're like month 4 or 5. Are we 6 maybe?
I don't think we're that far
Okay.
in. I think we tested it out before, and then we took a couple of months off. And now I think we're on our third month.
It's been good for sure when you say that.
Yeah, I would say it's been good. We haven't closed any investment deals from the Facebook ads.
But it's too early in the process.
Well, we have got referrals and listing referrals and wholesale referrals from it.
But I'm still super happy with the leads that we've gotten from them.
Yeah.
I was really worried it would be a lot of spammy stuff, and it's really been way more not spam, real people.
I think they're all real people. I do think that there's some, and I think you control a lot of that with the creative. We've gotten a lot of real estate agents or people with listed properties, and that's because in our ad piece, we didn't specify, hey, we don't want listing properties, and we're gonna test some of that out. We got some really good ideas on how to test.
We just talked about that earlier today about putting that in there. And just, would you tell them what it says, what we're going to test out about if your house is on the MLS, and then the other thing about the wholesaling, what did it say?
I don't remember that part, but it said if your house is currently listed on the MLS or under contract with a wholesaler, this does not apply because we don't really want those. And so for these guys, they're taking about 35 leads to close a deal. We have right now sitting in there a little bit over that. We're probably at 45 leads with no closed deals. However, we have some in the system that are probably going to turn into closed deals. The cost per deal on Facebook ads is somewhere around $1,400 to $2,100. We're spending a little over $600 a month right now on Facebook ads, and that's really going to depend, kind of like PPC, on what your area is. The larger your area, the cheaper your lead cost, and the more likely you are to get a deal, obviously, because you're talking to more people. They're saying that the lead time from first contact to close deal is about 2 months on these. Now, the next one that was really surprising, and I hadn't heard about it before, is TikTok leads. So like your TikTok ads. The cost per lead is 25 to 35, but it's taking like 100 leads to get a deal. So that's running you 2,500 to 3,500. Same kind of lead time as Facebook ads, 1 to 2 months.
And we're gonna try that.
We are gonna give that a try. So I'll let you guys know how that works out. And the final one that he was talking about is this AI cold calling. There's a couple of different AI cold callers out there. They've only been doing it for a couple of months. It costs about $20 per lead.
Awesome.
But they haven't closed a deal out of it yet, so they don't have any data on that. We're going to be using it just to test it out on some of our follow-ups and stuff like that, and see if we have any.
And I think I'm going to try it on my follow-ups on the retail side too, just to give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl. It sounds pretty good. Maybe we'll get it all set up and show you guys what it sounds like, and show you one of those.
Yeah,
calls.
let's do that.
Yeah, I think that's great. So really, it's important to see this because now you can plan what your budget is for each of your marketing channels and how many deals do you want to do a month, and you can use that kind of stuff. Now, the best information is going to be the information that you're gathering. So you can create a Google sheet with a Google form that has you fill out everything every single day. Melissa does that on the retail side, on the investment side.
Every day.
Yeah, every day, because what happens with, especially if you have virtual assistants or other employees, to them, filling out the KPI tracker just becomes a chore, another task, something that doesn't affect what they're doing. But when you're explaining it to them, you need to help your employee understand that there is a bigger picture, and that bigger picture is we need this information so we know where to spend our money and how to do it. So you can make, as a business owner, sound financial decisions based off of data instead of feelings. Feelings cause a lot of problems when you're looking at business facts. And the only way you're going to know is to start tracking that stuff yourself. So like you said, Melissa, what is your KPI tracker track?
It tracks. So whether it's a buyer or seller lead, and then if there's an appointment, if there's a contract, closed deals, and where it came from. So
yeah. And then on the backside of that, the revenue from those closed deals. So we know how much money we're spending on each place.
Yeah, I said what it closed for.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, sorry.
Revenue.
Sorry.
Sorry.
And then we're also tracking stuff on the investment side. We're tracking how many letters were sent, how many calls we get back, how many of those calls were leads, how many of those set appointments, how many of those were offers made, how many of those contracts got. Same for all of the other stuff. On cold calling, we track quite a few more KPIs because we're trying to see how many correct numbers we got, how many connections we got, how many appointments were set, and all of that kind of stuff. And you can get really, really granular, but it is really important that even if you're not doing anything with the data, you are tracking it, because it's really hard to go back and make up that information. And if you're not in the position right now where you care, you just need to get your first deal, start tracking that information and just put it in a spreadsheet and leave it alone. You don't have to do anything with it. But then when you want to go back and see what your performance has been, see if you're getting better or worse or what's going on, you can go in and utilize that data, if you're tracking it, to help you make good decisions moving forward.
Yeah. Good word, brother.
Done. You got anything else to add about any of that?
No, I was just going to say our meetups next week, just as a reminder, if you're in the PCB area, we moved it from the second Wednesday because it's Valentine's Day. Even though JD didn't want to move it.
No, I was happy to move it.
That. And it's next it's next Wednesday if you're in town.
Yeah, awesome. If you get any value from these podcasts, please share it with your friends.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And please drop us a review. A 5-star review means a lot to us. So if you have any questions, you guys can reach out to us on social media, and my calendar link's out there. So if you need to discuss your business or what you're doing, just reach out. We're happy to help.
24/7.
All the time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Jam. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. For more information, check out our website, therealestatejam.com, or find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Real Estate Jam. If you have any questions, feel free to drop us an email at therealestatejam@gmail.com. See you next episode.